It's been a great season, but it's time to say farewell to 2018. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Over the course of 12 events, 10 players added the title Champion to their name. And all 10 winners hoisted their first Mackenzie Tour trophy this season. 2018 kicked off in Vancouver at the Freedom 55 Financial Open. Jordan Niebrugge came out hot, firing 3 subpar rounds to claim a 5-stroke lead heading into Sunday. After struggling in the 4th round, he managed to hold on to the lead at day's end.
It's always great winning whatever level you're on, and there's a lot of good players out here on the Mackenzie Tour, and to be able to win out here, first event, I'm super excited and ready to keep rolling.
Next, players took on the Bayview Place DC Bank Open presented by Times Colonist. Sam Fedone kept a steady pace throughout the week, and come Sunday, carded 5 birdies on his way to a bogey-free round and the title.
Playing professional golf now for 5 years, I've learned a lot about myself. I know that I can handle the pressure when it comes my way. It's just all about being a little more consistent on those weeks where I don't have my A game. And that's kind of what I'm working through, and I think I'm getting better at week in and week out.
The action continued in Kelowna at the Golf BC Championship, where George Cunningham soared to the top of the standings after a 3rd round 62 and managed to hold on to the lead until the end.
My game, I feel, has really improved, especially, playing week in, week out. I've really learned how to manage my time as far as playing every week goes.
Play 2-5. All right, let's rock and roll. All right.
Another season of the Mackenzie Tour has flown by.
3, 2, 1, and let's go.
And players have made memories on and off the course.
You getting ready for a beer here? We can all agree.
From grub and brews to checking off bucket lists with the crew.
What did you have for breakfast, just in case we see it again?
The 2018 Mackenzie Tour season certainly packed a punch.
And all the way to the rear. Okay, targets to your front, watch and shoot.
As players made their way across Canada, they made sure to experience life outside the ropes, taking in all this beautiful country has to offer. From wakeboarding in Kelowna to dragon boat racing in Lethbridge, there was always something to do.
Yeah, we're about to dragon boat. It's gonna be a good time.
That paddle's gonna go in the water. You're gonna pull that back from the same time as that scale, and then you're gonna pop that out of the water and reset.
We're the Mac Tour Rooks, and this is the Mackenzie Tour. We're gonna give a little tour of the house. We got kind of the common area / Fortnite room in here. A couple French handbooks we've been studying up on.
I'm over here under the Making Friends category. I've been kind of struggling with that one. Je suis célibataire.
Can we get the English translation on that bit?
Single.
Wow, you heard it here first.
From rookies to veterans, that competitive spirit was always in the air.
The stronger it is, the more hair it puts on your chest, right?
I like those.
Got it. I feel like a mad scientist out here.
An adventure was around every corner.
Cheers.
To Patty's.
11 out of 10.
Is this gonna be bigger and who's gonna be first?
Oh, Lord.
Woo.
Coming up after the break.
That award means a lot to all of us. Freedom's really generous with how much they do for the tour.
One Canadian rises above the rest to hoist the Dan Halverson Trophy. And then...
I can say I won a Mackenzie Tour event, and I won professionally at a tough venue and a tough field.
The new franchise that let us get up close and personal with our champions when this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
Next, we get to recognize the Canadian Player of the Year, Michael Glagic. We're very happy to be presenting you with the Canadian Player of the Year, and you do get a check for $25,000 and the hardware too.
I just want to thank Abby and her whole team at Freedom 55. You guys do so much for not only the tour, but for all the Canadians that get to play week in and week out.
Burlington, Ontario native Michael Gligic earned Freedom 55 Financial Canadian Player of the Year honors after putting together a 2018 season which consisted of 3 top 10s.
That award means a lot to all of us. Freedom's really generous with how much they do for the tour, and to have a $25,000 perk for low Canadian at the end of the year, it's pretty fun. You don't really think about it when you're in the moment trying to win the golf tournament, but at the end of the day, if you play pretty well and you are fortunate enough to sneak it out, it's a pretty nice bonus. The competition every year, it just gets better and better.
After missing the first 3 cuts of the season, the 29-year-old Mackenzie Tour veteran turned his season around, eventually climbing to 16th in the final order of merit.
He's probably hitting it the best he ever has, and his results have shown, and he's putting it really good. He's a tough guy to beat, and it seems like every week he's up at the top of the leaderboard.
Talk about a guy who's paid his dues. He's fought for everything he's got, and it's really good to see him playing well. I'm sure this is just the beginning for him.
I'm fortunate that I was able to finish top 60 again this year, and I'll be locked up again next year, but hopefully move on to the web.
Paradise Canyon Golf Resort in Lethbridge, Alberta served as the backdrop for the first of 3 new events on the Mackenzie Tour, and it didn't disappoint. TT Crouch nearly grabbed the title with an improbable hole out on the par 5 18th, but instead joined a 3-man playoff with a birdie.
Looked at the scoreboard and saw Zach didn't make birdie on 18, so I knew I had to make birdie just to tie. Then when I hit that bunker shot and see it roll towards the hole, I thought I made it. I got goosebumps.
But it only took 2 extra holes for the 26-year-old from Mount Vernon, Ohio to finally clinch the Lethbridge Paradise Canyon Open.
Knowing that I can win on the Mackenzie Tour just goes to show you that I can win anywhere, whether it's PGA Tour, web.com Tour, or here. So that helps a ton.
The Mackenzie Tour then headed to the country's southernmost city for the inaugural Windsor Championship at Ambassador Golf Club, where Mark Anguiano survived a 3-man battle, posting a final round 65 for the victory.
Didn't have many expectations, didn't put a lot of pressure on myself throughout the whole week. And after I hit it on the green on 18, I had a good feeling that I was going to pull it off. It's a great feeling. This is huge. I'm right where I want to be, so it's good.
In Thunder Bay, at the Stahl Foundation Open presented by T-Baytel, rookie Ben Griffin needed a birdie on the 72nd hole to capture his first professional title.
Winning out here is huge. That's how you're going to get to the next level, and to be able to do that so quickly, I was really proud of myself, and I couldn't believe it happened. Kind of crazy how fast everything happens, coming out of school just a few months ago, but I'm excited to see where the journey takes me.
This season, we launched a new franchise.
Is this thing on okay?
That let us get inside the minds of our players as they prep for competition.
I'm just doing what I can to prepare myself, I guess, every week to give myself the best chance to win.
And what we learned on those Tuesdays and Wednesdays of tournament week was groundbreaking.
An embarrassing moment on the golf course. I was playing an event in Garland, Texas, and I had just gotten these brand new pants, as good as they come too, and I loved them. And I was playing with one of my good buddies, Case Cochran, and I remember I bent over to read a putt like this, and they ripped so hard, and I had another 11 holes to play. So that was probably the most embarrassing time.
Clean underwear day?
Always a clean underwear day.
Here's a look back at the times we went on the bag.
I grew up in a really small town. I grew up on a 9-hole golf course, no bunkers, no range, and so I'm pretty self-taught.
Like having Dad on the bag?
Yeah, it's normal. No, it's great. I love having him on the bag. We work really good together. I started caddying for him actually in Europe, and I thought that was about as much fun as you could get. But I tell you what, it'll be a memory I have for the rest of my life.
Talk to me about your first win.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. Unbelievable week from start to finish. Everything about the week was just really fun. Just a lot of support for the tournament. It was really cool to pick one up there in Thunder Bay.
It's finally sunk in a little bit, and well, words can't describe it. I can say I won a Mackenzie Tour event, and I won professionally at a tough venue and a tough field.
What's your earliest memory of playing golf?
I guess every Saturday morning, my dad and my uncle took us out to play 18. That was awesome. Really enjoyed that. I went out every day, it seemed like. I would skip some baseball and go to the driving range instead, so kind of cheating my way into golf that way.
Favorite musician and song?
Right now, Get What You Give, Felix Cartel.
Favorite travel destination?
I like to go to the Bahamas.
Favorite meal?
Macaroni, cheese, and hot dogs.
All these guys, we just want to win every week, and all you can ask for is to get in contention through the needle. I think it's great out here. I mean, the guys are great. It's a well-run tour, and we travel around and play golf every week.
Looking to the future for yourself, what would you like to see lay out for you in life?
Hopefully a long, healthy career in golf. That's my goal, to try to get on the PGA Tour. So if I can get there, I think I'll achieve basically all of my goals.
Up next on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.
Hey. And a high five? Good job.
It was another great season of giving back. And later,
this is where I've been able to hone skills and work on all the things that it takes, I feel like, to play at the next level.
we look back at Tyler McCumber's incredible 3-win season after the break. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Since 2013, the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada has raised more than $4 million for local charities, continuing the PGA Tour's initiative of making a positive impact in the communities where we play.
The best thing about this tour is the impact that the tournaments are having in the communities in which we play, and to again surpass $1 million in charitable contributions across all the tournaments.
Hey! You know, high five? We play golf for a living, and there's a lot of people that are in need, and this really puts into perspective, like, these kids are really fighting to survive, and you have the opportunity to get back, you really should.
The Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada is very important for us. We do research, we do care, we teach the new generation of doctors, of nurses, so the needs are pretty incredible here.
Over the last 5 years, charities across Canada have benefited from the money raised at each tournament.
Mackenzie Tour obviously brings to town some very, very skilled qualifying golfers, which in turn attracts a great number of community people. That in turn allows us to get our message out about the importance of providing support and care for children and youth on Vancouver Island.
The Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada has continued the tradition of giving back.
I think it's always good to give back. I mean, we had tons of people this week volunteering for us, and it's always good for us to do something, not just for us, but for somebody else.
PGA Tour of Canada, Freedom 55, they're so philanthropic. Every dollar that is raised throughout this weekend makes a direct difference for these kids, and it's amazing.
You don't need a lesson from me, it's too easy. Just kind of gives me a different perspective with what I do. I was amazed. I mean, he's a warrior, he's an athlete, he loves sports, and he's going to do the best he can to get as better as he can.
It's so great that there are events like this that support the Glenrose. It's so needed.
I think that we're going to find that 2019 is going to once again be the best year we ever have out here, and can't wait for it to start.
As the summer sizzled on, the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada welcomed its third new event on the schedule, the OSPREY Valley Open in Caledon, Ontario. And it's where Tyler McCumber began his run toward Mackenzie Tour Player of the Year. Starting the final round with a 7-stroke lead, the Florida native became just the third player to win on both the Mackenzie Tour and PGA Tour Latino America.
This is big for me, and obviously my team. I've been working really hard with my dad on the mental stuff. Since I was injured a year ago, I had my shoulder redone. I haven't really sort of put it together since, and so it's nice to get some momentum going.
And boy, did he ever get it going. The following week in Edmonton, the 27-year-old again found himself with a 54-hole lead. He posted an 8 under 63 to clinch the Syncrude Oil Country Championship presented by Aecon. The win vaulted him up to #1 in the order of merit, a spot he would not relinquish.
It's a privilege to go back-to-back on the Mackenzie Tour. I obviously want to keep getting better every week, and I do think I'm doing that.
In Calgary, it was 23-year-old Corey Pereira who stepped into the winner's circle for his first professional title at the ATB Financial Classic. He followed it up with 2 more top 10s on the way to a 4th place finish in the Order of Merit.
Just another step forward in my career, and it just opens up a whole new level of opportunities for next year. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm very confident things will turn out.
The 2018 Mackenzie Tour Player of the Year, Tyler Mackenzie.
You know, definitely an honor. I'm very excited to have walked that up and have the opportunity to play, you know, every event on web next year. I've made it my goal this year to, you know, just really work on some of the things that I've been working on, trying to improve on my weaknesses and, you know, just keep getting better, and I feel like I have done that. So it's, you know, I think I've figured it out a little more and more every year. I think just to keep doing the same things and, you know, hopefully keep getting the results. You know, I feel like my game is very good, and also with, you know, my dad obviously is a heavy influence on my golf game and my career, and also my mental coach, Moose, over in Australia. We're going to get to spend some time in this off-season all together, which will be nice to have everyone in the same area and be able to work and sort of create a plan for next year.
As Macomber looks forward to his next chapter on the Web.com Tour, his influence on the 2018 Mackenzie Tour season won't soon be forgotten.
Didn't expect anything like what he did to happen. It's pretty crazy how a few weeks in your life can change just about everything. He's turned it around and can be on the PGA Tour in a year. So it's pretty cool to see that, and he's a good guy to look up to on this tour.
You know, this is where I've been able to hone skills and work on, you know, all the things that it takes, I feel like, to play at the next levels, you know, to get to the PGA Tour. And so, you know, it's been a great process down here playing on the Mackenzie Tour.
After the break, we take one last look at the 2018 season and hear from the 5 who are moving on to the Web.com Tour when this is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada returns. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. With the end of the season on the horizon and a spot in the final 5 looming, players teed it up at the Players' Cup looking to make a move. But none could catch up to the hot streak of Tyler Macomber.
Trying to improve on my weaknesses and, you know, just keep getting better, and I feel like I have done that.
Carting only 1 bogey the entire week, the Florida native went on to shoot 22 under for the tournament and claim his 3rd victory in 4 starts.
I think I've figured it out a little more and more every year, and every step of the way has been a growing.
Players then made their way to Montreal and the Mackenzie Investments Open presented by Jaguar Laval. Blake Olson loomed at the top throughout the week, but 72 holes was not enough, and he found himself in a playoff with Corey Pereira. Ultimately, Olson was able to seal the deal, earning his first win.
This tour is filled with so many good players. The caliber is so high, but it's great because, you know, everyone's getting better, and no matter what, if you're competing on this tour, you're playing good golf.
The top 60 players then made their way to the final stop of the season, the Freedom 55 Financial Championship. And Danny Walker's 2-stroke win vaulted him from 51st to inside the top 10 in the Order of Merit, qualifying him for this year's Web.com Tour Q School.
That's huge, just to have, you know, to get into that and hopefully be playing on the web next year. That's the biggest thing more than anything. I'm really excited about that.
While the 2018 Mackenzie Tour season has come to an end, 5 players have taken the next step in their careers after earning a spot on the Web.com Tour next season.
It's pretty special, you know, at the start of the year, obviously that's our goal, but once it's finally done, you really feel a sense of accomplishment.
As the season went on, I got more and more mature and learned a little bit more about myself. It's important, you know, when you play good golf, to take advantage of it.
Overall, it was a pretty good year, and it was really consistent, and I made a lot of progress from last year, which was my biggest goal.
When I play at the golf tournament, I want to be in the middle of it. I think that through hard work and everything with my coaches and my team, we can kind of figure out what the weaknesses are.
Guys that come off this tour play well on web, play well on tour, and so obviously they're good proving grounds for actual skill and showing that that's what it takes to get through.
I worked really hard before this year. I really put a lot of hours in, maybe the most I've ever put in my life. So, you know, I'm sitting here now, so it's got to be a good thing, right?
It's nice that a lot of the hard work paid off. Still have a ton to work on, and I think that's also a good sign.
Even though I'm making it to the next level, the ultimate goal is to make it to the PGA Tour, so I know I need to keep working and getting my game, a few of those mistakes to clean up.
I'm definitely the one hitting the shots, but there's such a big network of people behind all that, and that's really where all the hard work comes in.
Just having kind of the different levels and working your way up and knowing that you're getting better and you're doing the right things. I mean, it gives you the idea that you're doing something right. Being out here and just going week to week, it gives you a taste of what it's going to be like.
While the regular season has come to an end, there's one event remaining, the 2018 Aruba Cup, taking place December 13th on this One Happy Island.
The One Happy Island mantra, when you look at that, it really comes down to the people of the island, and not only the beautiful setting that we have here, but the total experience of just coming here, relaxing, and also having the service at your fingertips. We really pride ourselves on that. Having a PGA Tour sanctioned event gives it that seal of approval, and as such, we are very proud to be associated with this event.
10 players from the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada will take on 10 players from PGA Tour Latino America in a President's Cup style format. 4-ball, foursomes, and singles matches will be played to determine the winner. Both teams hold one victory each, but who will break the tie in this third encounter and take home the win for this year? To catch all the action, visit PGAtour.com. We'll see you next season.